How do you know that you're on the right path? How do you know that what you're going through right in this situation is relevant to your life's purpose? How do you know those things? If it is crumbling, if it looks like chaos, and if it is a mess, you are 100% on the right path. Let me tell you why. When you're moving through states of consciousness, consciousness is a state, a mindset that you hold in your brain, right? Your reality. It's a state of consciousness that you are occupying. Now, when you're on the right path, which by the way, I will tell you, no matter what state of consciousness you're in, no matter where you're at in life, whether you're 20, 40, or 70, you're actually exactly where you're supposed to be for your soul's purpose, for your path, for you to understand and learn whatever you are learning at this moment in time. I had a very powerful synchronicity today, and synchronicities are my favorite. So I will tell you the synchronicity I had today. I am learning and observing my old thoughts. Okay. And they're interesting. I used to believe those thoughts, and then I used to like identify with them. So observing them from a, we'll say different state of consciousness is interesting because like, wow, I used to like really believe those things. So today I'm driving home, and I start thinking of, well, I'm observing the thoughts of like not feeling, almost kind of like not feeling good enough for the podcast. I'm not sure why. It just like randomly popped in my head that, maybe I'm not doing what I want to do with the podcast. Maybe I'm not good at it. I'm observing those thoughts, but I'm not like taking them in. I'm not wearing them as a coat. So it was interesting to like observe, like, that's interesting, being able to identify your thoughts and not identifying with them and letting your thoughts take you on this road of not feeling good enough. So I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder why my thoughts are going there. Then a moment of silence, I guess, in my brain just kind of cut out, and it was quiet, and all of a sudden I could hear the radio. The radio was playing the song, oh my goodness, I don't know the song name. Somebody can write it in the comments though for me. Something about the book. Your book has just begun. The rest is still unwritten. I think Unwritten maybe is the name, but she's like, no one can speak the words on your lips. Your book has just begun. The rest is still unwritten, right? And it almost like, it kind of shook me up a little bit because that synchronicity for that specific time in life, or, thought of where I was at. Do you see how like those thoughts, I could have let those in the past, I could have let those completely, make me stop the podcast, like completely, like, oh, I'm just not good enough. And I don't want to, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not good enough. Whereas I'm observing them and I'm like, that's interesting. The old me would have taken those thoughts and ran off with them. Now I'm just observing them. And then that moment of silence, a pause, right? That moment of silence, that synchronicity kicks in. That's like, hey, no, the rest is still unwritten. Your book has just begun, right? Your book has just begun. So I wanted to talk about that today, no matter what stage in life you're at, because lately, I will tell you probably where these thoughts came from. Lately, I just turned 30. Happy 30th birthday to moi. But I just turned 30, and like, I think I felt a lot of other people's thoughts and opinions of like, you're 30 years old. In a way, I feel like I took that, especially by people, the tone maybe that they said it in. Some of it I took of like, am I a late bloomer? Like, why are they saying it like that? In my mind, I'm just beginning, right? The book has just begun. So I'm excited for what's coming to me. But some people, thoughts, opinions, they look at me like, I just don't get it yet. I don't have a grip on reality, and I'm not getting, I guess where I'm supposed to be at in life at 30. I'm not sure. But I will tell you that that's probably where those thoughts were coming from, of me feeling the pressure of like, am I not getting something? Am I not, am I a late bloomer? I know I'm not, but I'm observing those thoughts, right? Because, where I'm at in life, I am so happy. I'm so happy with where I'm at, what I'm doing. There's always areas to work on, right? And I just had the moment of it's Groundhog Day with a movie with Bill Murray. I'm reading a book right now, and she actually uses the example of people reliving the same reality over and over and over again. So she says it's Groundhog Day, and that movie is so monumental for, I feel like, where I'm at in life at the moment, because I have taken action towards other areas in my life, and you can't work on everything all at once, okay? So I've taken action towards other areas in my life. And I am really proud. I'm really happy. I feel very successful in my health. I feel like I've mastered my health. That's been the last few years of that journey. And now I kind of had the moment, the Groundhog Day moment, that I'm living the same reality over and over again in a different aspect in my life. So now it's time to work on that area. And I'm excited because every time I have that awareness of like, it's Groundhog Day, I'm reliving the same reality over and over and over again. Every time I have that awareness, I completely transform it, change it into exactly what I want it to be. And so I'm very excited for these next, for my 30s, I guess. I'm excited for the next decade of my life. I don't feel like a late bloomer. I don't feel like I should have it all together at this moment. Do you know my path? Do you know what I've been through? So you can't possibly judge from the outside looking at me like, oh, she's 30. She needs to get a grip on reality. Like, who said that? Who said that? Did you have it all together at 30? I think not. Probably not. And if you did, you probably had a lot of help. You probably had a partner. You probably weren't a single mom. I mean, and again, I'm not judging. I'm just saying you can't judge me for not being where you think I'm supposed to be at 30 years old. So anyway, I'm excited. And going back to the book has just begun. The rest is still unwritten. At any moment, your book has just begun. At any moment that you have that awareness, okay? You have the awareness that you're reliving the same reality. That's where your book begins. Your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. You get to choose how the rest of your life turns out from that moment of awareness. Now, before that moment of awareness, you're in Groundhog Day. That's all it is. You're reliving the same reality over and over and over again, but that's not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing because if you notice in the movie, if you've ever watched that movie, he tries different things every single day until he gets it, until it clicks, until he learns what he's actually supposed to be doing, until he has a mindset shift, okay? He relives the same reality. But actually, in actuality, every single day is slightly different. He learns something new, something different every single day he wakes up on the same day, February 2nd. It's Groundhog Day. I just keep saying that. He learns and he does something different every single day until he gets it, because he exhausted all of his options, or he learned as much as he could. So I want you to think, if you don't think you're at where you're supposed to be at in life because of age, because of, whatever it is, I don't want you to think that you're behind, and I don't want you to think that you're reliving the same reality over and over again. If you are, you're still learning exactly what you need to have that mental shift to then step into a new frame, then step into a new reality. And I had that moment in one specific area in my life. I had that moment. And I just cannot tell you how excited I am, because every time I have that moment, it is a brand new chance for me to write the rest of, the rest of my book. It's a brand new chance to write my future. I didn't have the awareness, prior to that. but I was learning different things each and every time, each and every situation, each and every, conversation. I was learning until I had that mindset shift. And it's almost like, honestly, like a roller coaster. You learn so much and you're tired and you're this and that, because you feel like you're not getting something. In actuality, you're learning a little more, a little more, a little more. You're building your tolerance actually to change and shift into that new mindset. Because if you could shift overnight, what would be the point of the human experience? Honestly, what would be the point of growth? What would be the point of lessons? What would be the point of relationships, of family, of, different dynamics? What would be the point in learning if we could shift overnight? So you have to embrace learning, embrace where you're at, embrace, like I said, 20, 40, 70, embrace exactly where you're at. You are not behind. And it's not that you're not getting it. You're actually exactly where you're supposed to be. And you're learning exactly what you need to have the whole awareness to be like, I get it. I get it now. Now I get to change, the book. The rest is still unwritten. Now I get to open my book and change. The rest is still unwritten, right? I get to write what comes next. And I don't know. That synchronicity was powerful for me this morning. If you pay attention to your surroundings, those synchronicities come in like clockwork. Pay attention to where your thoughts are at. Whatever you're thinking about at the moment, pay attention to maybe what signs, what synchronicities, messages come through for you to keep you going. I have no idea why those thoughts were there, other than maybe I feel pressure of like other people's opinions and judgments of me, because I definitely felt it. I was excited for my 30th birthday. I was so excited, but everybody else around me, it felt like, they were really like judging me of like, get a grip on reality. Like, you're 30. Like, okay, and my book, the rest is still unwritten. I'm writing it as we speak. So anyway, that's kind of where I wanted to talk about today. You're always on the right path. Always. No matter if it is like, and like I said in the very beginning, if your life is in crumbles, if everything crumbled, if everything is falling apart, I cannot tell you more and more and more that you are so on the right path. Because do you know what happens when everything is crumbling and it's chaotic and you don't really understand? And what's happening is you're trying to hold on to your comfort. You're trying to hold on to your comfort zone. You're trying to hold on to that old state of mind, that old way of thinking. You're trying to hold on to that relationship. You're trying to hold on to, whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to. What's happening is you're gathering and gaining more and more awareness that you cannot be in that place anymore, that you cannot stay in that relationship anymore, that you cannot, be at that job anymore. So why it feels crumbling and why it feels so chaotic is because you don't know you don't have the whole awareness yet to step into the new reality of like, oh my gosh, I get it. You don't have that yet, but you are right there. That's those called like your breakthrough moments. Right when you're about to give up, right when you're about to be like, I cannot do this anymore. That's when your breakthrough comes. Your breakthrough comes because you realize, and maybe not consciously yet, but you will realize that you were just trying to hold on to old things, and that's why it felt so uncomfortable. That's why it was so chaotic. You were just trying to hold on to something that wasn't for you anymore, that wasn't meant to be there anymore. Maybe the cycle completed, maybe the relationship completed, maybe you learned what you needed to, and you're not ready to step into the new. So you're trying to go back, and it's like your mindset, your awareness is already like, hey, we are not doing this anymore. Remember, like you said, you wanted different. You said you didn't want this anymore. You said you wanted somebody that did XYZ. You said you wanted a job that did this. I'm giving it to you, but you're trying to hold on and you're making it harder for yourself. That's also a point of like surrendering to, I don't know what's best for me. Even though we are, the human experience here, and we want to control. It's just natural of us to control everything around us because that is what's safe and that is what we know. We surrender to, there is a higher power out there. God, universe, whatever you believe in. There is a higher power out there that is trying to give me my dream reality, trying to give me the things that I am asking for. It's me as the human experience trying to control all these things and keep these things safe because that's what keeps me safe. But I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to be in this relationship. I really don't want to be at this job. But it's what's safe. So I'm staying small and I'm staying here because it's all I know. And it's my comfort zone. It's all I know. When you finally surrender that, you know what, I don't know everything, and you let that higher power come in and make room for you and put new people in your life and put a new, job application in front of your face, you start to realize, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? And I've had those moments so many times. Like, I don't know shit. I don't know shit. Every time I think I know something, I get pulled the rug out from underneath me. You don't know nothing, girl. You don't know nothing. But you ease into it. You learn and you move into that uncomfortableness. And it's really a beautiful place to be. I still get uncomfortable, but I know that I've been here so many times that something beautiful is about to emerge. It's about to happen. And I'm uncomfortable, but I'm excited. I'm so excited because everything in my life has turned out that way. When I realized, one, that I was reliving the same reality, I had my breakthrough moments, and then I surrendered to things I don't know. And that has gotten me so far in every area that I have applied it to, that I'm aware of, okay? Especially in my health and fitness field. I feel very successful in my health. I, lost 100 pounds. I've kept it off. I have, gained abs, which I've never had, because I've got 3 kids, 3 C-sections. I went vegan. I went plant-based. I started to pay attention to how my body felt. I started to understand that, not everything works for everyone. So I started with the holistic approach when I went into the health and wellness field. There is not a one-size-fits-all. You have to listen to your body. Your body tells you what's for you and what's not. Your body is your key. Your body is your temple. Take care of it. Nourish it. Feed it with good food. That's your ticket. That's your key. So what worked for me may not work for you. My path is not your path. We may have similar things, and that's probably why you're watching the podcast right now, because there is something in my experience that your spirit wants to push you into, or 2, B, there's something in my experience that is highlighting to you the principle of like surrendering, the principle of like, be excited about this chaotic time. I know how hard that is to say in the moment, but understanding that I'm just holding on to stuff that's not for me. That's why it's chaotic. Okay. All right. I'll let go, because what is coming, I could never have guessed in my life. I could have never have guessed it. Never. And it was so much more beautiful than what I ever imagined. So synchronicities, pay attention to your outside reality. Pay attention to maybe the songs that are playing, wherever your thoughts are at. And it's not like you'll be paying attention to the song and you're going to like try to apply it to your life. I'm talking about it will just click. It will come out of nowhere. You won't really be paying attention, and a song will come on. Listen to what those lyrics are saying. Maybe it's a messenger. Maybe it's somebody, you're really in your head at work, right? And I've had this happen before. You're really in your head at work, and pay attention where your thoughts are at, and somebody will come up to me out of nowhere and say something so random, but it was a message for me to like, let go of something, or I don't know. It happens in all kinds of ways. I know people are really into like angel numbers and synchronicities. I want to tell you that your thoughts and beliefs create your reality. So if you believe 1111 is a horrible number, it every time I see 1111, my I don't know, my world falls apart. If you believe that to be true, then 1111 is going to do that for you. If you believe 1111 is a I don't know, a brand new relationship, every time you see 1111, you're probably going to have a different, someone's going to enter your life as a brand new relationship. Your thoughts create your reality. So whatever you think and believe to be true is what those numbers will mean to you. You absolutely can look up these numbers as, maybe a guide of some sort. I'm just telling you, you decide what those numbers mean. Actually, whatever you believe to be true. Angel numbers aren't a one size fits all. They're not. It's what you believe to be true. And the same goes for everything, all the synchronicities and that come into your life. It's your beliefs. It's actually your reality. If you think of yourself like a computer, no one can come inside your program. So your program is all you. So whatever's coming in your reality is coming from you. The signs and synchronicities that are coming from you, from your belief system, from your internal system. So anyway, that is where my episode is at today. And I'd actually love to talk more about signs, synchronicities, and the belief system, because that's probably a whole nother episode. What you believe to be true will come into your reality. So my internal belief system is that this podcast is meant for me. This is my purpose, path, and passion. So do you see how the synchronicity of that song literally saying no one can speak the words that's on your lips? Why do you think that came into my reality? That's really, truly what I believe internally. Now, if I internally truly believed that this podcast was not for me, like 4 or 5 years ago, because I didn't have the self-esteem, I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the voice, I didn't have all those things, because that's what I believed in that moment in time, in that version of me. Things would have appeared to, make me believe that, the podcast is not for me, because my internal belief system, I was not confident. I had no self-esteem as far as are people gonna even listen? You know what I mean? So I think that's a whole nother episode I might go into next week. And I appreciate you guys for being here. I am going to get some more, I got some feedback the other day about my sound quality. So I'm going to here soon get maybe a new microphone, some new headphones or something, so we can have better sound quality. And if you are on the podcast, at least on Apple, you can chat with me now. So if you go on there is a button that says chat with me. You can leave me comments, opinions, whatever you would like. I'd love to read them. So, and also I want to say that I am doing one-on-one coaching for mindset transformative shifts. So I do have that open right now. There is a 1-to-1 or there is a 4-week where you can use 4 calls. I'll put that in my link below, and I'm only open on Monday and Wednesday at the moment, but we can talk about reality, we can talk about your life, and we can figure out how to get those limited beliefs out of your system, how to work with your subconscious brain to be on board with whatever reality and dreams you want. And we will go into that and have one-on-one calls, and I'm really excited about that. So I'll leave the link below, and thank you so much for being here. I love you.